Hi, in the context of triggers, we are going to discuss about the data triggers. As we have worked with the property triggers and we have noticed like there we were working on the dependency properties, but here in case of data triggers we are going to deal with the non-dependency properties. Basically what we will do here, we will first of all create some bindings which the properties we have to change at the runtime. For example, if we want to bind two controls out there, if we change the value of one control, I want the changes should be reflected in the another control. So in those particular cases, we are going to work with the data triggers. So let's see a practical implementation where we'll implement the data triggers now.
Alright, now I'm going to show you an example of data trigger here. So for data trigger, I will continue, or basically I will do some changes in my previous example where on the mouse over this button was changing the color. So let's see how this execution was going on earlier. So you see, whenever I'm putting mouse over this button, the color is changing to white. But now what I want, this thing should happen only when I'm checking this checkbox. I just added this checkbox out here. So if I'm checking this checkbox, only then this color change should take place. This white color should come here. Otherwise, it should remain to its default. So let's see how we can do such changes. So for making them, let's come to the example. And here, first thing which I will do, I will change this trigger, which I am putting it inside the resources trigger style. Alright. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the data trigger out here. Alright. So this trigger style will remain same. The button, I don't have to change anything out here. You can see the another example, another markup here for the checkbox. Alright. Now, here what I'll do, I will not go for the dependency properties because property trigger works on the dependency properties, but here when I'm talking about the data trigger, I will use the binding attribute. Alright, so first I'll have to tell for which particular control I'm going to bind. So first thing is binding, then element name. Which element I need to pass here? This checkbox. Alright, so from here it will tell, okay, the control which is actually on which we are dependent on is the checkbox. So there could be a number of properties for the checkbox. Which property will I take care of? I will take care of the property is checked. Alright, so is checked is the property associated with the checkbox. Alright, whenever you come to the checkbox, you will find that there is a property called is checked. So it could be true or false. Alright, so when the change should take place, when the value is true. Alright, so when the checkbox, this particular checkbox property is checked, is true, then these things will take place. Alright, so I think everything is done, nothing is due. Rest things are done, like static resource is already set here. So let's execute and see whether it's doing fine or not. Alright, so now in the execution you can see by default it is coming with its default one, but when I'm clicking this one, you see the color of this checkbox got changed. Why? Because now it's not about the mouse over, but it's about the checking this checkbox. Alright, so as soon as I did that, the color is green and the font color is white. Alright, so this is what we can do while working with the data trigger. Alright, it works with the non-dependency properties.